Coming up on SMTV News, there are many food pantries across Mississippi, but we also have one on our campus. Avia Walker finds out how to keep students fed and supported.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We will have the steps on how women can spot cancer early.
Also, see how Hattiesburg Public Library is fighting recent federal cuts.
And your weather anchor, Sophia Vetrano, has your homecoming game day forecast so you can stay ready for the game.
All this coming up on SMTV News.
Your SMTV newscast starts now.
From the Chuck Scarborough Studios on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi, this is SMTV News, the voice of the student.
Good morning, I'm Kiara Fox.
And I'm Stephanie Perez-Munoz, and here's our top story. On campus, the Eagle Nest Food Pantry is working to make sure every student has access to what they need.
Avia Walker shows us how they're keeping Golden Eagles fed and supported.
The Eagles Nest Food Pantry has provided essential support for Southern Miss students, ensuring that no one on campus has to go hungry.
The Eagles Nest Pantry started in 2016 by the Department of Social Work, and it's been in this space since then, and our mission is to serve the campus community for food necessities. We serve students, faculty, and staff, not just students.
Each week, students stop by to pick up groceries and other essentials, and that number continues to grow.
Good for students to come and because we also have like vitamin products, like we don't just have food stuff, and like people have donated dishes.
While the Eagles Nest Food Pantry provides support for Southern Miss students, keeping the shelves stocked and the operation running smoothly isn't always easy.
I think the biggest thing we face is donations, and so we do not have a funding source, and so we rely solely on donations from other people. And so when we are low on donations, then we're low on food in the pantry.
The Eagles Nest Food Pantry continues to make a difference in the lives of the Southern Miss students. Alvia Walker, SMTV News.
Eagle Nest is located in the hub basement, and they're always looking for volunteers and donations from students, faculty, and community members.
In 1985, October was declared Breast Cancer Awareness Month by the American Cancer Society and a blend of drug companies to raise awareness for breast cancer research. 40 years later, local health specialists warned that it's not too early to run tests or to look out for breast cancer. Brittany Dozier, supervisor of the Hattiesburg Clinic Breast Cancer, warns of potential signs for breast cancer.
Signs for breast cancer, of course, the main thing that a lot of people know about is a lump, feeling a lump in your breast.
According to the American Cancer Society, Mississippi has the third highest mortality rate of breast cancer in the country, with 480 deaths out of 2,710 cases in 2024. Dozier also explains how you can check yourself for the disease and also that early detection is the key to defeating this illness.
Be familiar with your breast. People don't realize how important self-breast exams are. Early detection is the key. It's always a better prognosis if you catch that breast cancer.
Organizations like Susan G. Komen for the Cure and the American Breast Cancer Foundation work to raise funds for research and breast cancer patient care. To stay aware of breast cancer and its risks, the American Society advises women to schedule annual mammogram tests. For more information on breast cancer, visit www.cancer.org/type/breastcancer-cancer.
A message on race, education, and personal purpose took the center stage as renowned American scholar and author Inami Perry visited campus to deliver an annual Clyde Kennard lecture. The lecture took place on Tuesday, October 14th in the Thad Cochran Ballroom, attracting students, faculty, and community leaders alike. Imani Perry is an interdisciplinary scholar whose work explores race, law, African American culture. She is the author of numerous books, including her latest, Black in Blues, How Color Tells the Story of My People, which examines how the color of blue reflects the history and culture of African Americans. The lecture began with a personal story about Perry's childhood home and how it shaped her academic journey and current work. She emphasized that education and dedication are essential to creating meaningful change.
I think that the one is to take your education seriously, and I think you're out not just what your interests are, but what issues matter most to you. And so that I always say, if you can find an issue that you believe is important, that you can dedicate working on for 10 years, you will have done an incredible amount of work.
The event collected were Perry's final reflections, followed by a Q&A section where audience members participated in an open discussion. A book signing took place afterward, allowing attendees to connect with Perry and her work more personally. For more information about Clyde Kenner Lecture Series, visit usm.edu/black-studies/Clyde-Kenner-lecture. Now we have our SMTV weather anchor, Sophia Vetrano, with our homecoming weekend forecast. Sophia?
Hey Golden Eagles, I'm Sophia Vetrano here with your weather. Let's get to the forecast for the game day. On Saturday here in Hattiesburg, that high will only reach 79, keeping that low at 55. This is perfect game day weather to be out tailgating and supporting our team. Look out for that 35% chance of rain, which will hit around the evening at 7 p.m. I'll have the rest of your Hattiesburg and Long Beach forecast coming up next.
Thanks, Sophia.
Coming up after the break, find out about a not-so-normal book club in Hattiesburg.
Does your furniture store check all the boxes? At Furniture Direct, we check all the boxes and then some. Lowest price guarantee, name brand quality, 0% interest financing, locally owned and operated, local warehouse, which means you buy it today and get it today. At Furniture Direct, we pay less so you pay less. Name brands like Ashley, Flex Steel, Franklin, Catnapper, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and more. Furniture Direct in Hattiesburg, Columbia, and Laurel, your furniture and mattress destination.
The Roy Howard Community Journalism Center, amplifying truth and combating false information across Southeast Mississippi, reporting what matters and giving control to the community. With our What is True hotline, we're fighting back against misinformation and disinformation, making sure our communities get the facts straight from the source. Through trusted journalism and a dedicated fact-checking process, we ensure every story is accurate and fair. The Roy Howard Community Journalism Center at the University of Southern Mississippi, reporting what matters through the Scripps Howard Foundation. Visit rhcjcnews.com to learn more.
Now, from SMTV News, here's your Golden Eagle forecast.
Hey Golden Eagles, I'm Sophia Vetrano, your SMTV weather anchor. Let's take a look at your Hattiesburg forecast for this week. Starting off, Thursday is keeping it cool with a high of 79 and a chilly low of 49. I'd recommend a light sweater. Friday heats up a tad to a high of 81, but that low is pretty consistent at 50. Getting into our 7-day forecast, Sunday is looking like nice fall air. You see a high of 73 and a low of 60. But then you got a high of rain chance coming at 85%, so try to stay warm and dry. Monday clears up on the rain, but heats up a couple degrees at 75 high and 62 low. Tuesday and Wednesday are staying in the lows of 70s, and Wednesday's low even dips to the 50s. Now on Thursday, we are really seeing that cold weather, with a high of just 70 and a low of 51. I'd say layer up. That's Hattiesburg. Now let's see what our weather would be like for the Golden Eagles down at our Gulf Park campus in Long Beach. Throughout the week, the highs stay in the 70s. Thursday and Friday are pretty cool with the lows in the high 50s, but then you see a little increase in the 60s the rest of the week. Long Beach has a rainier week than Hattiesburg ahead of them. Saturday has a 35% chance of rain, and Sunday is even more likely at 85%. Monday's got 60% chance of rain, and they're in the clear for the rest of the week. Get your pumpkin spice and sweaters, y'all, because it's officially fall. How y'all feeling about this fall weather? I know I ask every time.
I'm so excited. I love the cold. What about you?
Me too.
I don't know if I'm liking the cold so much.
What about pumpkin spice?
My outfits are so much cuter though. They're super cute.
Well, darn. But I hope y'all stay warm and get ready for that game day. It's homecoming game.
It sure
It's
is.
going to be a great time.
Thank you so much for that weather segment, Sophia. October is National Cybersecurity Month.
Here at Southern Miss, iTech is responsible for ensuring campus-wide cybersecurity. Some forms of common scams students are likely to face are phishing, visiting, baiting, and pretexting. There are some common indicators that can be seen in most of our scams, including urgency, errors in spelling, and unsolicited correspondence.
How many emails we get here a day, but there's probably over a few million a month emails we get at the university, and probably more than half are junk. Solicitations of some sort.
Emails that seem too good to be true are also likely scams. Another important thing to look out for in scams is a request for sensitive information.
Anytime, whether it's, if it's from a police department, if it's from anybody, if they're asking for sensitive information, just take a pause and think about it before you provide the information or before you click on.
Because of the emergence of AI and deep fakers, scams are people pretending to be someone you know are also very likely to be popular soon. It is important to ensure the identity of the person through a different medium before sharing sensitive information.
October was declared National Cybersecurity Month in 2004 by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the National Cybersecurity Alliance. The goal was to educate the public and organizations on the importance of cybersecurity and how to protect themselves from growing online threats.
Due to federal funding cuts, several public libraries are having to cut back on the services they offer to the public. Many of the cuts have affected the digital services that Mississippi libraries use, like Hulupa. Hulupa is an online book lending app. It allows readers to have online books. In some areas of Mississippi, the app was terminated immediately, and in others, the number of books readers check out has been reduced.
In Hattiesburg, the number of books went from 6 to 4. Other areas that could be affected are early childhood literacy programs, job search assistance, and technology access. Library staff member Kelly Eubanks explains another change Hattiesburg Library has implemented due to the loss of grants.
When I first started working here, we were able to offer any persons who was printing off homework, 20 free pages, but due to recent redistributions of grant money and funding, we're now not able to offer adults that. We're still able to offer children K through 12.
Although the future of the Institute of Mississippi and Library Services is unclear, the Hattiesburg Library has strong local support to help. The library continues to host free events for the public. You can stop by this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for trick-or-treating. For more information about the library services, visit hattiesburglibrary.org.
Another thing the Hattiesburg Public Library is doing on their part to push back against banning books. On Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., the Banned Book Club meets at the library to discuss a book that has received criticism and ultimately been banned from several locations. Reasoning for this bans range from explicit language to sexual content. This group feels that there is no good reason to ban a book.
It's kind of been a thing that's happening more and more in libraries. We see book bans and book challenges happening, and as librarians, we're all pro the freedom to read, basically. That's part of the American Library Association's kind of tenets of things. So we feel it's really important for everyone to get a chance to read what they like. So that's what this book club's all about, is just dissecting why these get banned in the first place and kind of reinforcing that why it's important to read. And they may make some people uncomfortable, but I think it's important to have conversations about those kind of topics because it's good to have a diverse viewpoints with the books you read, so I don't think there's any validity in banning any books.
The club consists of a range of people who all can agree on the importance of reading. The week's book was the 1984 written by George Orwell. Members said they read the book in high school and feel everyone should do the same. It got banned for explicit content and seemingly promotion of communism. They are concerned about this censorship, saying the qualities of the book at first seemed like a fiction, but it is now becoming a reality in today's world. The Banned Book Club is welcoming the public. They discuss how the reading choice made them feel and why they think it did not deserve to be banned. Everyone shares a unique perspective and the love for freedom to read.
After the break, learn more about resources USM has to offer in the Cook Library.
The Sleep Shop at Furniture Direct offers the largest selection of Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster, which means you can buy it today and sleep on it tonight. Come experience the cooling comfort of Tempur-Pedic, the ultimate support of Stearns & Foster, and of course, the most trusted name in sleep, Sealy Posturepedic. Why settle for less when you can sleep on a Sealy for $4.99, plus get the sheets and pillows for free? The Sleep Shop at Furniture Direct in Hattiesburg, Columbia, and Laurel.
Are you a Mississippi University College enrolled junior or senior pursuing an exciting career in broadcasting? The Mississippi Association of Broadcasters is offering scholarships to help qualified college students realize their dreams. Mississippi radio and TV broadcasters are looking for the best of the best to work in a variety of rewarding positions. Apply today and learn more. Visit msbroadcasters.org and click on the Students link. Applications must be received by October 17th. Apply today.
Now, time for your SMTV Sports.
What's going on, Golden Eagles? I'm Gabe Calhoun, your SMTV Sports anchor. Let's kick off this segment with football. USM would travel to Lafayette. UL would get on the board first, but Matt Jones would answer with a 1-yard touchdown. USM would get 2 more field goals to extend our lead, and Braylon Braxton would launch a 97-yard bomb to Micah Davis, where he took it all the way to the apartments to make it 20-10. Chris Jones would get a strip sack to end the game. USM would spoil Louisiana's homecoming 22-10. Speaking of homecoming, this week, ULM looks to try to spoil our homecoming, but we don't think that's going to happen. Kickoff will be at 2:30. Serving over to volleyball, we traveled to South Alabama, where things didn't go our way as we got swept in both games 0-3. Southern Miss will look to bounce back in conference play as they travel to Virginia to take on Old Dominion. Game 1 is tonight at 5 and Friday at 5. Both games can be heard on the Southern Miss Sports Radio Network. USM Soccer did traveling of their own as they went to San Marcos, Texas, and got absolutely destroyed 1-6. USM has one more opportunity at home Friday, October 24th, and kickoff is looking to be at 3 o'clock, weather depending, at the Marshall Bell Sports Complex. With all that traveling we're talking about, let's talk about traveling that's bad. In the game of basketball, USM would host an exhibition game against Houston Christian to kind of get everything going. But USM would struggle to find the bottom of the cup early, as from beyond the arc they went 1 from 11, which would lead them to trail at half 27-21. Dylan Brumfield, a Hattiesburg native, Isaac Tavares, and Philo Dieng would start a run for the Golden Eagles in the second half, but their efforts weren't good enough as they would lose the game to Houston Christian 64-69. As for our player of the week, it goes to more than just one person, a whole group, a nasty bunch, if you will. As we lead in interceptions in the Sun Belt and are second in the nation, Chris Jones, our starting linebacker, is number 1 in tackles and 7th in the nation. For turnover margin, we're number 1 and 3rd in the nation. And getting to the quarterback of total sacks, we're number 1 and 12th in the nation. USM athletic teams are made up from athletes from all over different cities, states, countries, and or skill levels. Not all can play at the Division I level off the bat. Some prefer to take a different route, which is junior college sports or JUCO. But that's not to be taken lightly, as JUCO athletes are strong, especially in the state of Mississippi, as Mississippi is known as a JUCO recruiting powerhouse. Coach Missy Bilderback explains that what she wants to do to keep the players in Mississippi.
Obviously, if there's a great player in the state of Mississippi that I believe can help us win ball games, then we want to secure those kids and keep them here at home. You hope that you have that retention, that we were speaking about earlier, and if those kids will stay with you, or in this case transfer with us, it gives us a head start and a jump start. I do believe that.
Keeping the athletes in the state of Mississippi would be a wonderful thing for everybody, from the athlete to the families to the schools who are even gunning to recruit the athletes. Speaking of JUCO athletes, we have a couple on our football team, and with everything going on, we have a football game this Saturday, homecoming. How you guys feel?
I'm so excited.
I'm going to be working, unfortunately. I'm going to be serving tables, making that money.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Thank you so much for that segment, Gabe.
No problem. Man with plans always here.
Always here.
As fall semester continues, students may find themselves needing help with assignments or tests. Here, there are many resources located in the library, such as the Math, Speaking, and the Writing Center. Students may have trouble when it comes to writing essays, resumes, and more. The Writing Center is there for students who may feel stumped, but only roughly 1,000 students visit a year.
We've about 1 out of 14 students come and visit us each year. The student population is about 14,000 students, and we see about 1,000 students pass through the Writing Center.
Now in the Pine Belt, there was a week-long festival called Pride in the Park that is put on by Spectrum Center of Hattiesburg. The Spectrum Center is the first LGBTQ resource that our community center with a physical presence in the state of Mississippi. The center's mission is to advocate for the secure, full inclusion and empowerment for the LGBTQ community in the Pine Belt of Mississippi. Pride in the Park is one of the biggest events for the Spectrum Center. Staff member Sal McCullum says that the event gives members and the LGBT community a safe day to come out and enjoy themselves.
It really just brings everyone together, gives people resources, gives people a day out, safe day out, where they don't have to worry about ugly looks.
The Pride in Park Festival has multiple vendors, food trucks, DJ Pretty Peach, and Dollhouse, and all trans Southwest emo band from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Festival goer Nicole Spring says that the sense of community is what stood out to her at the event. Spring also stated that the Pride in the Park also served as a showcase of support for the LGBTQ members throughout the state. For more information about TCS and their event, visit their website at tschbird.org.
Coming up after the break, this week's guest on Eagle Interview plays a big role for the students.
Stay tuned to find out who it is.
At Furniture Direct, we pay less so you pay less. Big Man Rocker Recliner, their price over $900. Our price $399. Dream Cloud Hybrid Mattress, their price $1299. Ours is $499, and the sheets and pillows are free. Ashley Sectional, theirs is $24.99. Ours $15.99. Reclining Sofa and Love Seat, their price $2,000. Ours is $14.99, and the recliner is free. Furniture Direct, your furniture and mattress destination.
To make sure our futures took off, we joined the Mississippi Army National Guard. With part-time service, we were able to get paid training in the aviation field. We learned skills that helped us get started down the path to a great civilian career. And this is just one out of the hundreds of jobs the Mississippi Army National Guard can train you for. You can learn a trade and earn money for school, all while serving close to home and being there for your community. See what your future could look like by going to nationalguard.com/ms.
Hey everyone, it's your host, Micah Hill, back with another Eagle interview. And today we have Damola Ikulola here with us, our SGA Vice President. So first off, thank you so much for joining us here this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and the things that you do here on campus.
My name is Damola Ikulola. Like Micah said, I am a pre-law political science major with a minor in criminal justice. I am from Lagos, Nigeria. I am the SGA Vice President. A lot about SGA is about advocacy, involvement in community service, and then I really want to be someone that can advocate for people, and that's why I decided I want to be the Vice President, to be somewhere in a place where I can make sure that I can make meaningful change.
Okay, nice pitch, nice pitch. So you said you're from Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. What's that like?
Well, I am from a family of 4. I have 2 brothers, one older, one younger, and a younger sister. And then my family was really close. It's more of like a really, really close nuclear family. Mm-hmm. And then we have this whole passion about being meaningful, doing meaningful change in the world. And we always have something saying that, okay, whenever we start something, we have to make sure that we finish it. And I think it helped me a lot with growing up and growing in life.
I love that. So you said you're a political science major.
Yes.
Would you say anyone in your family influenced you to take on that career?
Unfortunately not. When I graduate, I'm going to be the first lawyer in my family. Mm-hmm. And even though they haven't directly influenced me, they have indirectly influenced me to make sure that I keep on pushing and being the best I can.
Period. I love that he said when he graduates. Period. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your journey with SGA. How did you start off? What was your first position at SGA, and how did you work your way to the vice president position?
So when I first joined SGA, I joined as a senator in my sophomore year. When I joined as a senator, Logan Boudreaux, who was the vice president, made me the chairman of the Committee of Health and Wellness. And that really puts me in a leadership position, you know, seeing the background, seeing the behind the scenes of how SGA works and how Senate works. Also, as I was working up, you know, making sure that I was involved with SGA, Logan saw that I had a passion to be a leader. And so when elections turned around, he came to me and asked me if I want to run for vice president. And I thought, well, that's an amazing idea. Why don't I become vice president? So I think it was a great idea, and I've loved every moment of it.
Period. And what was your campaign? Like, what was your slogan? Did you have one for your campaign?
Didn't have a slogan. Mm-hmm. It was more about just making sure that everyone had a place where they felt like they belonged.
I love that. And what does a typical day of vice presidency look like for you?
A typical day, you know, classes, after classes, we have office hours, so where we have spent at least 8 hours a week in the office space. And so like that office hours, I really love being there because I can be talking with people like the senators, SGA members, and then usually I have meetings with Dr. Motta or some OIL hubs to see how we can make a change in the USM.
Nice. And what would you say is your proudest accomplishment of being a part of SGA? I know there might be many.
there are a few, many, but then I think my proudest accomplishment, besides being vice president, was probably the legislation I passed, which was to make sure that, which was like a resolution to recommend to RMAC to open the fresh shop during spring break, which I'm hoping gets passed and, you know, gets like into work
sooner or later.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And what made you want to pass that legislation?
So since I'm an international student, I don't really have anywhere to be during spring break, and then the fresh is usually closed, which is the main source of like my food during spring break. So I was like, you know what, I can't be like starving during spring break. So I was like, you know, let me just pass something and let me recommend it to them to make sure that they felt like, so that they could like improve some is, and then so like we, the people that stay behind, have somewhere to get some food.
That's such an important initiative, and I'm glad that you, as an international student, saw the need and voiced the need. You said that you're a part of the Senate, so you are over the Senate, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so with that, what would you say is, how could someone get involved in being a part of Senate? How can someone become a senator? What's the application process look like?
So usually we put out some applications right at the end of the spring semester, and then sometimes we have rolling applications. But the main applications are at the end of the spring semester where you can apply, and then after that you get it back from me or whoever's vice president, and then you go to the interview process. After the interview process, you get voted into the Senate. So the current Senate members have to vote you in to say like, okay, yeah, you can be a senator. And then from there, you can just make any resolution you want, a bill or a legislation to just like improve student life, basically.
So really anyone can make a difference if they really want to.
Yes.
How would you say you and President Leah Johnson work together effectively for the student body?
We work perfectly together. I feel like some of the ideas I have come from like her, and some like resolutions that I've had to like pass in Senate. She's loved my ideas. It's like, and also she's always there at Senate meetings, so I think we're like a really tight group, you know, vice president, president. Yeah. So like, we amazing team to work.
If you could be SGA president for the day, what would you do? What would you change? What would you say?
First thing I would change is the office space. I make Leah's office, which would be my office, a lot better if you ask me.
Okay.
But you know, being serious, I think I'll try to act some more like initiatives, and like, you know, a lot of things that we've seen recently of a lot of people feeling like they've been neglected, a lot of minorities feeling like they've been neglected. I feel like I'd push a lot more. I'm not saying that Leah's not doing the best she can right now. I feel like I'd be a lot, you know, since I'm also a minority, I'd be a lot intentional with it.
I love that. And what are we looking for? Like, what's your plans next year? So we have nominations coming up, or elections coming up, I should say, in the spring, right? So what are your plans in the spring? What should we be looking forward to from you?
So I might be going back to back, you know, vice president, second time. But I'm still weighing my options, you know. Might decide to run for president, vice president. I also want to be somewhere where I can make sure that I can make meaningful changes. And since my senior year, I'll make sure that I can leave Southern Miss better than I found it.
I love that. And then last thing, what's some advice you want to give students that want to get involved in SGA or just have an impact on campus in general?
An advice I'd give students is that you don't have to be in a leadership position. You don't have to be a senator. You don't have to be the SGA vice president, the SGA president. You don't have to be a president of an organization. You can make a difference on campus. You know, write us a suggestion you want, or you can just go over to one of the IO ups and tell them that, okay, like you feel like you're being neglected, or you want to make a club about like a place that where you and your friends could feel among, you can make an organization. I also want to make sure that people know that you don't have to be a person in leadership position for you to make a change. You can leave something better than you found it just by existing.
Anyone can be a leader.
Anyone can be a leader.
Thank you so much, Damar, for coming on to Eagle Interview. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Going to Eagles, for tuning in to another episode of Eagle Interview. I'm your host, Micah Hill, signing off.
Oh my gosh, Kira, I've been looking at your jacket all show. It's giving Legally Blonde. Why are you wearing pink today?
Thank you so much. Well, I wanted to show my support for breast cancer, but why are you wearing pink today?
Obviously, I want to show support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Happy October, y'all.
All right, and Gabe, you have a little pink on as well.
You know, my grandma had breast cancer, so I try to support the best I can every October.
Yes, and SMTV
throughout the year
supports anybody who has any relationship with breast cancer. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching SMTV News. Be sure to like, follow, or subscribe to SMTV on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X.
Get all of our newscasts on SMTV original programs and even stream the student radio station, WUSM, and this is all available at sm2media.com.
If you would like to submit a news tip, email us at sm2news@usm.edu.
And don't forget to pick up the latest copy of the Student Prince newspaper, and it's out now.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on our new edition of SMTV News. As always, I'm Kiera Fox.
And I'm Stephanie Perez Munoz, and always remember, Southern Miss
to the top.